Hey, 1 second. KYML. Razor Sharp KYML was first, unfortunately. Okay. Let's see here. Okay. Lots to do, lots to discuss today. Let me post on Twitter, let everyone know that I am now live. Okay. Holy fuck. So, today is Monday, October 30th, 2017. 3:08 p.m. here in Chicago. October 30th. I started Manifold Garden near the end of November 2012. So it's been 4 years and 11 months. 4 years and 11 months. Next month. One more month and it'll be 5 years. So holy shit, and my game is still not done. Okay, but so I want to talk about what the plan is to get this thing out the door. I know I gotta hunker down. So I did make a development update video, and I think that's been good. Why did they automatically do the time thing? It's actually very, very annoying. So, Bunasera, Praetorian, hello, Water Retard, and hello, Balint Magyar. Well, okay. So a few things, and I'm gonna I'm gonna pull out my trusty Microsoft Word. We're gonna write this down. We're gonna execute it. So, a few things. I think in terms of design, the concept is there. So we're not going to be adding new things. Like, I used this image in the latest development update video, and I talked about how there are these short-term, medium-term, and long-term goals in a game. And I do think now we finally know what the short-term, medium-term, and long-term goals are for Manifold Garden. For a long time, we just kind of had the short-term and medium-term goals, right? So short-term, I use this example for action games as like short-term is you just want to defeat the enemies in front of you. Medium term is like get the next upgrade, beat this level. Long term is, defeat the big boss and like save the world. Right, in Manifold Garden, we had a long time. For a long time, there was a long-term goal, but it wasn't really clear what it was doing. And so, but now we finally figured it out. Now it's just a matter of implementing. So I can't ship the game right now because I do need to implement the designs, but it's all there. In terms of tech, we're pretty much done. So, okay, so design, concept is there, start implementing. We're not just, you're right, we're not only adding new things, we are cutting. You remember how I really like the kind of colorful areas? We're getting rid of those. Привет, Бобков. Сегодня у меня много работать. И так я собираюсь работать много. Saying everything in circular. I really like this stuff. I think you guys have seen it. This kind of like these kind of super colorful areas. We're just getting rid of them. And part of it was that we need to, I thought it was really cool to kind of have this space, but you'd go inside, and the space itself was a reward, but the problem was that players went in here and they were trying to look for something to do and there wasn't anything, so they'd spend 20 minutes wandering around and then they'd be like, well, okay, there's nothing. So this kind of backfired on me. Like, here I thought was this really cool visual reward, but the feeling players got from it was one of disappointment. Actually, we're not just, we're more beyond making content. I mean, we've got the entire game sitting there. We've got 6 hours of content. We've got all the levels, but we need to tweak them. So it's more like we're rearranging furniture. No, they're still in there. They're just part of the normal gameplay. So, it eventually, so it was good that we kind of went down that path with these. Eventually they did, because we try to use the whole world growing stuff, right? And so we implemented those in kind of the main part of the game. So that's so good. So it led us to that. And, I can still put an area like this in the ending. So, but it just becomes like a level that you pass through in the end for like 5 minutes instead of kind of all integrated into instead of all integrated into the game. Sound designer, sending over the contract today. So, I've been talking to this other designer and we were gonna move forward about 2 weeks ago, but then there was some personal stuff that happened, and we're not working. Nothing bad, I won't go into it. It's not really my place. But been talking to a new sound designer. You guys are probably familiar with some of their games. I'm not going to announce anything yet, but we are going to move forward November, and we're going to start kind of push ahead with that. It is still like we're kind of doing still like a trial period, but that's more of a contract issue. Like I don't know what the scope of the game is, so we can't really pick a number for the entire game, right? So, and we don't really want to do hourly because I don't want him stopping iterating just because he's billed enough hours. So we are but what we're doing is we're like a flat fee, moving ahead November, full steam ahead, and then okay, this is how much is this is and then figure out the scope of the game, and of course all the music will kind of go through the sound designer. I'm not saying anything, but I'm excited. Okay, so yes, I know this is fucking taking forever with the sound, but we are moving ahead. Okay, so sound. So what I'm gonna do today, actually, sound, investigate Fmod and Fabric, install one of them, and send over contract to sound designer. So yeah, we agreed on the number, got the contract, the terms are good, sending that over. And really, the thing is, I'm not... thing with these, so we have Fmod, which is super intense. And then there's also this called Fabric Audio from Tasman. And I think both are quite... the problem is both of them, in order to download, you have to sign up. But yeah, licensing... Yeah, and I kind of both of these are well within the range I'm working with. So yeah, I'm just gonna do a little bit of research, and then we'll kind of pick one. But I think both of them would be more than enough. Okay. Will this game have some sort of sound visualization? No. Okay, so start implementing. And what are we implementing? We're kind of implementing new dark world. Dark World puzzle breakdown. Okay, new Dark World puzzle pacing. Water system and new need to design new puzzles. Okay, so remove the colorful world area. Okay, art. I've started working with artists. Yeah. I've brought on. I've been working with a producer for Martin. So I posted on Twitter. I said enemy perfection is the enemy of shipping. And then someone responded, it's also what differentiates a good game from an exceptional one. And I'm like, it's going to be a good game or it's not going to be a game at all. You know, if you don't ship, there's not a game to start with. So you know what? That mentality, trying to be exceptional, fuck it. And I'm going to come back to this a bit. So first let me talk about art. Let's kind of go through this, and then I'll talk about sort of like my own mindset on this and my personal emotional struggles. Okay, art. Yeah, working with artists on animation now. So let me kind of just talk. I'm gonna just show some of the stuff I've got. I need to respond to some people's emails, by the way. Oh, fucking hell. All right, this is just a quick animation test, I think, from one of the artists I'm planning to work with. This is all very rough, but this is just to give you an idea of like the kinds of buttons that are going to happen. You know, so this is kind of what we're doing with that. So I'm working with like 3-4 artists now, just kind of pushing ahead with this. And yeah, you know, it's like they're like, keep going, exceptional. I'm like, mate, I've been working on this game for fucking 5 years. Like, it's not gonna get any more perfect than what it is now, you know. And again, we'll come back to this, but I think it's, as someone who's worked on the game for 5 years, I can tell you, like, there is a point when you should push, and then there's also a point where you're like, okay, you know what, let's ship. And I feel like I've pushed it as far as I can. It's been half a decade, and I'm gonna ship. So working with artists on animation, that's all good. That's like fairly easy. It takes about like 6 to 7 hours for each of those. So we're just kind of like boom, 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 boom. Production, I get some like PS4 stuff, but I've brought on so I've been working with this producer, and originally kind of she came on as to kind of help out with PlayStation 4 TRC stuff, but I'm actually going to have her help me with everything else, like, so PC. So stuff she's going to take care of for me. Localization. So we're going to do, there's some stuff, you know, we started doing localization. We got the crowdsource, and that's super helpful. Everybody's been you know, we've got this spreadsheet, and people can you know, help crowdsource the localization, but there's some stuff like Japanese, Chinese that we really need to do, and we're gonna get professionals to do it. So she's gonna kind of prioritize languages, and like prioritize languages, find translators, find people to help visually guided. Because, you know, like if you change it to Chinese, like maybe some fonts are better than others. PS4 stuff. And we're going to be doing every like weekly meetings with the producer. So that's going to be every Monday, 1:30 p.m. Central Time. I'm going to be meeting with her. And she's going to keep me on track. Okay. So tech, I think the biggest problem with the tech right now that we need to do, so there's like general bug fixing and our performance, and then Arthur's got that covered. Backwards compatibility for save system, right? Because right now this is kind of the big problem. I need to, now I'm not going to do like DLC or updated content for the game, but if I need to fix the game, I need to be able to do it without ruining everybody's saves. And right now, your saves kind of get fucked. So we need to. Oh. Yeah, I think in terms of scope, I probably fucked up with saves. But I'm not too sure how there would have been another way to do it. But not a lot of games do like persistent save for an open world. Like that's really a nightmare. But we're it's done. So it's just a matter of tweaking these things. But we need to do backwards compatibility. So if I need to make, if I need to add new things after I ship, God forbid, at least it doesn't break everybody's saves. And this will make it easier for playtesting and then sort of bug fixing and optimization. And we need to start on PS4 soon. So music. Well, it's really more just like outsourcing that. No, I'm gonna do it myself. It's tied too closely to the I meant forwards compatible. Yeah, forwards compatible. All right, so we need to figure out like what the changes are from one version to another, and then like kind of like add new cubes or something. Like we'll sort of always err on the side of, like, if you can't find data, just give the player an extra cube. All right, thank you. So French is covered. We're all good. But there's little things like with localization. If you're shipping in PlayStation 4 in Europe, you have to have like German, French, Italian, or something. Like there's a minimum set of languages that you have to use. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna focus on the PS4 language sets, and then we'll worry about PC. And for PC, we have to have Chinese, because all these games, like, I don't know what's up with these Chinese gamers, but they will they'll like review bomb your game if you don't have Chinese localization, or if it's bad. It sucks, but that's what happens. So yeah, we're starting to move that on that stuff, sound, and then tech. It's really just like all the stuff that makes. So we're not so much on like design. We're cutting content, but like the things that make players angry at the game, because it's like they start up the game and they've lost all their progress, like that kind of stuff. So that's the key stuff. Check out. So yeah, and like I said, I did the latest update video. Have I hired a sound designer? Sending over the contract today for the sound designer. Composer, that's gonna come after. So yeah, it's not. Yeah. There's just been a lot of complications. It's all right. I'm not gonna go into details with why sound and music has been hard, but it's just like this is kind of what it's been like. So you talk to a sound designer, and let's just say cameraman 101 is the sound designer. And I talk to cameraman. I'm like, hey, let's talk about sound. And if it's too early, they're like, well, I want like 10% revenue share. It's like, well, I can't really do that. I need to know like how much do you think like it'll cost you to do that? And then we, based on like projected sales, we figure out the rate, and so on and so forth. But then from there, it's just kind of been this back and forth of like trying to sort out the details. And then, I talked to a musician, and they're like, well, I need to know like what the sound direction is, so before I can start the music, like where do you want the music to fit into the overall sound design? Then I go back to the sound designer, and they're like, well, I want to hear the music first before I know what to do with the sound design. And I'm just like, okay. So it's just been this like uh, super complicated process back and forth. And when it comes to sound and music, the legal stuff is the most complicated of all. Because, you know, when you hire a programmer, when you hire an artist, it's like you would just straight up work for hire, right? Like they make the stuff, I pay them, I own all the copyright, I get to do whatever I want, I put their names in the game, you know, for credits. Now, with musician, oftentimes it's like, well, okay, they want to keep the copyright, and then I have to have like exclusive right to use it or for to modify it. You know, if I want to do a sequel or for like other platforms and so on, and you know they can't use the same music for another game, obviously, and they can't use the music for like I don't want them to put it on. You know, like YouTube's got this database where it tracks like it like if you put up a video with some music, it'll match it to another database, and if it's there, then your video gets flagged and like or either your audio gets shut off or they put some ads on it. And obviously I wouldn't want that with game music, right? I don't, you know, if people upload gameplay videos, I don't want their channels to get like shut down. So you need to do that, okay. And then what about like sales? Can they sell the music? Like if they sell the music on Bandcamp, do you get a cut? If they sell the music, what if you bundle the music album with your game on Steam? Do they get a cut of that? Or like do you first make back how much you paid them and then you split? Like it's just been this huge nightmare. So so yeah, this has been this huge pain in the butt. But settled. This guy, I think he's good. And we got the numbers. We're gonna start working together. So I'm sending that contract over tonight, and then I'm going to do a little bit of research into Fabric. And holy shit, they used Fabric for Monument Valley. So yeah, it really between Fmod and Fabric. You know, I'm gonna just kind of look into it a little bit more tonight. But yeah, both of their terms are great. It's free for under 500,000, which is that's, you know, I'm well under that. What's the need for third-party? Just Unity's is not really sufficient, and for a lot of this, you can kind of like the audio person can kind of work in their own thing. They actually made a sequel already. Hey Daryl, okay, so now finally the one thing I want to talk about, and it's just this kind of my own mental block with development. Yeah, did you guys look at right, I mean, so you guys, yeah, you use Fmod, right? Yeah. Not sure if you guys are using. Yeah, my only hesitation, so this sound designer likes Fabric. My only hesitation is I've heard more recommendations for Fmod than I have for Fabric, so I just don't want to get too far and then be like, oh shit, we should have used we should have used Fmod, but I doubt that'll happen. We're not doing like a super complicated complicated game, at least in terms of audio. I mean, even if we wanted to, we're not going to do that now. That's done with. So finally, I want to talk about my own. But yeah, I'm gonna like research a bit after the stream and look into integrating and which one makes a little bit more sense. So, okay, finally, I want to talk about now like my own mental block, and kind of like my fears and worries, and it all like. You know how so yeah, like I said earlier, I posted this tweet, perfection is the enemy of shipping, and somebody wrote back like, but it's also what differentiates a good game from an exceptional one. And you know, a lot of like so much of what's in my head now is just you keep comparing your game to all these other ones, like, you know, Braid and Portal and Antichamber and Stanley Parable and Cuphead, and they all have these like overwhelmingly positive reviews, and Steam reviews are so brutal, you know. Like I feel like Steam reviews are always like, this is either the greatest thing since like Jesus Christ came to Earth, or you know, it's like the worst thing ever, and the dev deserves to die. And it just feels like you can't, and like in this market, it's like you just can't ship anything that's like run of the mill. It has to be super exceptional. I just, and all like when I'm working on the game, all I think about is all these other games that are just exceptional. Like, just Antichamber is a masterpiece. The Witness, and it's like I have to be as good as that. And yeah, but I don't think, and I think that's not, I think that's gotten me pretty far. You know, I've pushed it quite a bit. And I think I'm at a point where I'm ready to just kind of lock that down. Like, you know, for a long time, there was like, we kept moving to improve the visuals, but I really think we're, you know, especially with like the latest Bloom, like, yeah, you know, I'm sure I'm still gonna get feedback like, are you sure this game is not made by the same devs as Antichamber? Because there like are a million similarities and they just totally ripped off the art style, and that's still gonna happen. But I don't. Yeah, I mean, I think this is like, I think I've done a pretty good job with the art style. In terms of gameplay, I think we're doing some pretty cool things. You know, in my latest development update video, I talk about like these 3 problems I'm facing. You know, there's no narrative, there's no objective, and you're not doing very interesting things in the space. But I think it's like, again, you know, I talked about that, and I think it's all there. Like, there's all the suggestions of like, oh, well, why not? How about like a story where you got to find some things, and you got to find, you have to like more of a creative mode, and it's like that's like that's becoming like story mode with Minecraft. You know, when you start going like, you, for a lot of these things you can't kind of half-ass it. You just gotta go down this path, and I think we're on this path. So I think we're doing interesting things with architecture. Maybe not the most innovative architecture game, but you know, it is going to be what it is. And like I said, I'm coming up on 5 years, and I'm just like ready to move on with my life, man. I want to have kids. Can't have kids if I'm still working on this game. Not actually. I'm not in a hurry to have children or anything, but you get what I'm ready to move on with the next stage of my life. if I work on this game any longer, I'm just gonna hate the game. Yeah. I just start training them to program. You know, I have 3 kids. One is a programmer, one is an artist, and one's a sound designer. But yeah, and I just feel like it's all there. You know, we got these new mechanics. We got like the water. We got the solid state. Like if we look at, so I know there's been some design. There's been some like puzzle problems. And like they're like one of our viewers. He's like a really big puzzle guy, and I know that, you know, for him, some of the puzzles haven't been very good, and that's totally fine. Like, I'm aware of that. You know, we're kind of working on that, and I think you say how maybe with kind of the latest one, the game, you know, because I wanted the game's gonna be $20, and he was like, yeah, this is like it's like 10 between 10 15, and I feel like, okay, well, with these new changes, I can start bringing it up, and maybe it's not gonna be $20. Like maybe I implement these, and maybe to him or to other people that are expecting this like next great puzzle masterpiece, it really is like the game is ultimately only worth $16. But you know what? That's good enough. Like, he can get it on sale. So I think it's super reasonable, and we're gonna get started. So that is it. I feel like where the game is at a point where we're ready to ship. We're not gonna add new features. And I'm like, I don't think I'm gonna find this like magic bullet now that's just gonna make this game like super intense. You know, it's not. I'm not gonna be like, oh my god, this is the super brilliant idea that I've been chasing after all these years. I think all of it is in there. I mean, like, just even looking at this screenshot, like, we've got the bloom, we've got this sort of wall wrapping, and these visuals. Like, let's go back to where we were years ago. I mean, I do like the feedback. You know, it is good, sort of like when people give me honest feedback, and that does help me gauge. But yeah, we look at this. This is from 2014, and well, you know, I mean, this is the game that we started with, Relativity. So, you know, we've come a long way between this and this, right? Like, I feel this is really it's really showing. Like, even we can go back like 2 years ago, even just looking at these visuals. Let me pick a level. You know, but like, look at how rough these edges are. I don't know if you guys can see it on the stream, but look at how like, it's not anti-aliased. Look at all the edges that are missing over there. You kind of see here there is like there's kind of all this this noise that you can see down here as well. 3, like right there, right? You know, like it's sort of good. Like, I could have probably shipped with this, but like, look at like this whole thing. Right? You can see there's all that, right? Like, all of this. That's sort of, and we look at this one now. Like, just look at how clean these lines are. So, yeah, I think Man, I think the game, I don't like, I think stopping right now, I don't feel like um, I don't feel like I like, uh, gave up early. I feel we look at this old water. Look at that texture, right? And now look at this water. Yeah, it's not perfect, but we've got we've done so much. Look at these old trees, and look at this new tree, right? Just that the shape of it. Um, you can look at the original Dark World. Do I even have any of these screenshots? Bum bum bum. No, I guess not. No, that's weird. I don't have any of the early screenshots. Oh yeah, but see, like this is the old Dark World, and I feel like we've improved it a lot with the rain. So yeah, so we're not gonna chase. So what I want to do. Okay, here's what I want to do. I want to ship end of February. I'm not gonna announce. I'm just telling you guys because you guys are much more familiar with the kind of the development of the game. But that is the goal. My goal is to ship end of February, which gives us 4 months. And like, yeah, let's do it. I think I've made my peace with it. So that's what we're doing. Yeah, that stuff. So I'm we'll try. It might be a bit of a belated present, but yeah, we're gonna. So I think we're doing that. So I think this is a big thing for me, because it sort of just felt like we've kind of been like floating and in this spot where it just feels like I gotta keep adding more to the game, and yeah, now we're cutting. We're cutting, and so let's do this today. So the last thing I got on this list is music and sound in the game. We're sending over the contract to the sound designer today, actually. So yeah, we're getting started with that. So I think November we're going to be seeing a lot of stuff from there. But yeah, this week our goal will be to you know what? Let me. Okay. So first I want to finish the Mandela rooms. Just implementing this new change. February of 2018. Yeah, so that's a really good that is a really good time for me, because so basically rest of 2017 is not so great for and I turned 31 in May, So in May of next year, I'll be 31. So let's finish this game while I'm still 30. Okay. So Mandela rooms, kind of just finish that. Make sure solid state code is working, and start putting in new design. Start putting in new design changes, and finally make save system forward compatible. Yeah, well, it's not so much the age, it's just that I started when I was 25. So, you know, like, I feel like it'd be nice if it's like, yeah, okay, so I was 25, finish at 30, like half of my 20s. You know, if it starts like, the game starts seeping into my 30s, then which it has already. But yeah, it's more about like moving on from here. But we're super close. Okay, so let's talk about. Okay, let's get back to this. If you think it's going to be strange, how do you think I'm going to feel? I definitely like to keep streaming. I don't quite know what I'm going to do next, but streaming's been super positive for me. So, okay. All right. So this is like, here we have an example of the room. What I'm going to do is we're just going to finish up all 4 of these because I'm redesigning them to have light in them. So far in the past, they've all kind of looked like this. But the problem is like players don't really remember the room. So we're going to make 4 different ones. We've already got one. We're going to kind of keep this the same. Yeah, I don't know. You know, it kind of like, I'm thinking of either like culinary school or medical school. Either way, I want to be holding some kind of sharp object. Yeah, if I were to do another game, here's what I would do. I'd definitely work with somebody else. I would definitely work with like another programmer or artist right from the start, and we would definitely get a producer. We get a producer from day one, which is like a huge change from my own thinking. It used to be like, I think for the first 3 years of development, I was like, why does the producer role even exist? And now it's like, no, I wouldn't start a project without it. So it's like, if I were to do another game after this, yeah, we would get we'd look to get funding, work with people who've shipped games before. We get a producer, a programmer, and an artist. Like the producer can be part-time, but I'd want them on board early, and like a team of 3 or 4. Like that's what I would. So I would not work on the game alone. I would work with other people, and we'd have a producer early. Producer just keeps you on track. I mean, it's you cannot get. So you think you have an idea of the big picture of the game, but you really don't. And you just need someone who's gonna be like, this is the date, you have to hit this date if you want to make ship. Because otherwise you just like it doesn't, it seems like you don't need a producer, so you're like, well, I can just kind of step back and think about what the game needs to get done, but there's just so much that you get caught up with early on, and like talking to studios and getting dev kits, that all stuff like takes up a ton of time. So ideally they'd probably be like a producer slash marketing, like the Young Horses, my friend Phil, Young Horses, they made Octodad. He's like a producer slash marketing person of the team, and that's really, really important. So yeah, you I think for an indie space, what you'd have is like a producer slash community management slash slash marketing, right? So they basically everything other than development, which you might think is like maybe 10%, but really is closer to like 30-40% of development. Yeah, and just have other people involved in the project as well. That is what. Yeah, like it's stuff that you, in terms of making the game like it's easy to overlook, but it is super important. So we have room A. Oh, yeah, let's put on some music. Some music. Yeah, it's Donkey Kong. Relaxing music from Donkey Kong Country series. And I think the key for me is just making sure I take care of myself. Like, Yeah. What's this game coin? Was it Jam? But yeah, I'm gonna keep development super transparent. I mean, I have been doing that, but I wanna basically open up each stream from now on with like a report on all this, and just to help me stay focused, you know. Otherwise, it's too easy. It's too easy to be to just start being like, you know, here's a second, here's, you know, like another secret area to discover, and don't follow Sublime Text. What? What's wrong with Sublime Text? I love Sublime Text. It's not registered. I don't know what their marketing scheme is. Oh. I probably should pay. It is good software. Yeah, I'm not just kind of ignored what you guys are saying. Oh, that looks really nice. Let's... that corner. Oh yeah! That looks... The fuck? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is this just me or does that look... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5.5. The fuck? Why does that look bigger than this? But everything else is even because, yeah. Up here, this is too close. I goofed. Okay, guys, it has been an hour and 30 minutes. I gotta go get some food. I'm gonna finish up this stuff and then I gotta research some fabric and Fmod stuff. But yeah, this is kind of the bottom of our list as far as art assets go. So you can see we've got the buttons, we've got a laser controller, dark area, tower, water fountain, the Mandela model, and these two still need work. Doors, but we're all pretty much done. So it's a statement. It's a fashion statement. Okay. Oh no, it's not even. It doesn't even say cure receiver. It says cube receiver. Yeah, but the line got caught in there. Yeah, I've actually been growing this stash since I started the game, and it's just finally now starting to show. I guess that's when I decided I was ready to ship. I was like, okay, this is coming into place. Okay, well, I think today's been a dark tree base. I think we are. So I think today's stream has been quite significant. I'm definitely gonna post this one onto YouTube. I think it's just been a good stream, but yeah, let's we're gonna start pushing towards the pushing to the finish line. Yeah, no more new features. Well, actually, I talked to the producer today, and she was like, anything you can't implement in the next 72 hours is not going to be in the game. So what I am going to do is have Arthur bring back the photography mode. That is already implemented. We just disabled it for now while we were doing other things, but we actually have all the new shaders. The orthographic is working. But we're gonna do just like two to begin with, and everything else is gonna be updates. Yeah. So. Yeah, producer is iron fisted. She was like, if you can't get it in the next 72 hours, and I was like, I was like ready to fight her on that, but then I was like, oh, so she is right. Anyway, that's what she's there for. And honestly, I think if we're gonna ship, we're gonna have to listen to her. Yeah. All right, guys. It's too bad none of the candy is on sale yet until after Halloween. But yeah, this is good. Game is I'm wrapping up the stream now. We're gonna host another channel, but I'm gonna post watch the VOD. We're gonna go over everything that is left to be done. All right, I'm gonna host Triple Jump Games. He's currently working on Modlands, and I will see you guys later. All right, have a good one.